Now, it's been over 24 hours since the release of Harry and Meghan's bombshell Netflix documentary, and the papers have been reacting overnight. Oh boy, have they been reacting. The pair are dominating the front pages. One Conservative MP said that he is planning to bring forward legislation in an attempt to strip the Duke and Duchess of Sussex of their titles. And we did a poll on this, actually. 67% of you at home agree, which is interesting. Nadia, do you think they should be stripped of their titles?
Well, I had lots of epiphanies. I watched all the documentaries and had lots of thoughts on it, changed my mind on things. But I don't want them to be stripped of it, but I think what I now understand they're trying to do, I think that would really be validated if they said, this institution isn't for us. We love our family, but we would like to hand these back. And I think that would be incredibly powerful if they did that.
Right, just sort of follow through on that. What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, I probably agree. I think that would be the best standpoint. I think it's more the fact that the British culture and the royal side of it, the protocols aren't as cut and dry. So, yes, probably them being validated for sure. Should they be stripped of it? I'm not sure.
Do you think they might be?
They could be. I mean, it really depends on the next part of the documentary and what it shows, doesn't it? You know,
because we haven't
had the shock factor yet. I feel really sad about it, to be honest.
I
feel sad that we've got to this point. I think they could have made a lot of differences.
I wish we could find a way to take the temperature out of this, you know, because they're not bad people. You know, and clearly they have gone through, you know, their own experiences that they've found really difficult. I also feel sorry for William and Kate, if those are the two couples that are being set up against each other. I don't think they're probably that different in how they see the world, but they're trapped in different worlds.
Do you think they should have their Duke and...
I just think stripping people of stuff at this point would not be a good move, because we need to try and cool the temperature. We need to try and kind of understand, what is this all about? And that was my big thing with watching 3 hours of it last night. 3 hours. I thought...
Won't get them back, Kate.
I thought, what are they trying to say? And I wasn't even quite sure. What did they say to you, Linda?
There was a massive paycheck at the end of it, wasn't there? They're getting an absolute fortune for doing it. And I do feel sad that the family's sort of divided now, that there's like two camps, isn't there, now, that they're over in America and they're all here. And I feel really sad for Harry as well, really, because I think he's lost out a lot on all these nieces and nephews, and they don't really see much of the family anymore. So I feel really sad about it, and I think maybe that they should give it back, because I don't think that they deserve it now, really. I think they chose to live a different life. They've moved to America, they've got their house, they've got their kids over there, so they're not really part of our
I don't think it's even that they don't deserve it, it's just they don't want to live it. So if you don't want to live it, then what's the point?
It will make what they're saying more authentic, because I think it is authentic, but you can't say all of that and then keep those titles. I mean, when I was watching it, I felt... If we just park anyone that is racist, and there will be many people that are racist and don't like the fact that she's a woman of colour, if you park that... When I was watching it, I thought, what we've also got a problem here with, because we do find it very difficult, don't we, as Brits, is the American, like, sickly, really sweet saccharine thing. We just find that... we find that so difficult. But that's not her fault. That's just her being very American. And we do have a bit of a thing like that. Also...
Well, she also found the sort of Britishness difficult, clearly.
Exactly. So it's that. But also, I think... The fact that she's an actress, and Mark said this to me, he goes, if you actually watch her, he goes, it's almost like she's trying really hard to be authentic because she's aware that people think of her as an actress. And I remember when I was in a relationship years ago, everything I did and said, whether I cried, whether I joked, this boyfriend of mine would say, well, you're an actress.
As if you were fake.
So I think as if it was fake. So I feel that she's also a bit awkward and watching everything that she's saying, so that doesn't play well to people. But
what did you make of it, Kelly?
Yeah, I think so. I think there were so many different things that came out of it, and I changed my opinion as I went through. So I do believe the cultural differences are the real issue here. We are looking at someone very Americanised and very over-expressive as an actress. And then here we're very polite in certain circumstances, aren't we? And our divide is very, very different. So the culture clash, without a doubt. Now, I think I looked at her very differently. I think that I saw the activism... I didn't realise she was into activism from a very young age. She seems very bright. She seems very credible in her upbringing. And I think, unfortunately, when it got to the stage it has done, when we talk about racism and we talk about the actress that they didn't like, I've got an opinion on that. I have got a bit of opinion on that. OK, so I'm a mixed-race woman, but I was brought up in Kent, the white mother, my white dad, because I didn't know the other side of me, which is Jamaican heritage. 3 white siblings and then 2 mixed-race siblings that I got to know later in life. All I am is a country bumpkin from Kent.
Yeah.
I don't know any different, and I didn't grow up thinking about that difference. Okay. And when you looked at it from her point of view, she said the same.
Yeah,
she just grew up as her.
Yeah.
You know, and she is very light, and over there, they would ultimately think of it being a white woman in...
her agent said that when he took her on, he didn't realise she was biracial.
But the moment people realised she had a black mother, things changed for her. Yeah. That's not her fault.
No. Yeah.
So she's trying to make her mark now of being treated differently just because her mum is black. Now they know she's different, but if you just put her on the perceived to be different... And I thought to myself, would I get what I got if I wasn't Dame Kelly Holmes' double Olympic champion based on the colour of my skin, as opposed to people understanding my cultural background? I don't know any different than being a Kent white girl.
Yeah, yeah.
From what I see and what I know, because everyone around me was white. This is a normal environment for me, and I have to be very careful when you're talking about it, because, of course, people who are from their black side, if they are mixed race, will understand that cultural side of it. Yeah. The real bias racism that goes on, and very, very in-depth, especially from where you live. So you have to understand you've got somebody now in the public eye who's coming into a British culture who, you know, British is engrossed in slavery in the history, but we don't bring it up.
Yeah, also class is a big thing
as well. And class is massive.
Huge,
So, in one way, what I feel sad about is they could have made a big difference. Her staying over here and trying to work with the British royal family could have made a cultural difference in terms of stopping that divide between people.
Because the other thing that came through in the documentary, although clearly they railed against the press behaviour, and it is shocking when you see it produced like that, there's no two ways about it. But when they spoke to ordinary people, or whenever, you know, they had shots of Harry and Meghan at events out and about in the public, people loved them. You know, there was no negativity from ordinary people within... I'm sure that... Well, I'm not trying to disregard they would have experienced racism. Well, true, but they produced the documentary and they chose to show people very supportive of Meghan, and I agree with you. It's such a shame that we couldn't have found a way through, because I think it could have been to everyone's benefit. Because
it would have been horrendous, though. What people don't understand is once there is an undertone of racism, it's unheard of.
Well, those headlines we kept seeing all together was just so upsetting, wasn't it? Because because if you don't read those sort of papers, you don't really see them, but seeing them all together, just that relentless racism.
So where does it leave you, though, Kelly?
Awful.
What do you feel? What are you?
Well, this is it, you know, a mixed-race woman from the, you know, the colour of my skin. I can't deny that, but I've found it very hard to find identity, you know, as well, because I know there is an assumption that you're somebody else when you look a certain way, and that's the problem. We don't talk and connect enough. We don't communicate enough through people and understand enough backgrounds and cultures. I don't really want to take it too much to the racism thing. I think that she's come into a society and into a royal way of life that she just didn't get. Like, the protocol, you know, I've got my Dame Hood, I had my MBE for Services Military, and I've been to Buckingham Palace. The protocol is so strict. And if you're somebody that's so far away from that and you come in, you can't just say, well, she knew. You can't know exactly how bad
I really sympathise with that.
I have to be a little bit cynical on that. I do think that she was in a position to find out, you know. And I think it would have been wise to find out.
But
just quickly, because we've got to go for a break. One of us was starring on that documentary. I don't know if anyone heard it. Episode 2. I think we can hear it, can we?
Oh, no. Prince Harry, he seems like he's fallen for somebody. Rumoured her name is Meghan Markle. Prince Harry, he seems like he's fallen for somebody. Rumoured her name is Meghan Markle.
Prince Harry, that's you.
What am I saying?
It sounded like a musical.
Fallen. She gets everywhere. She gets everywhere.